It started with a single claim. In silence, Iran announced it had launched advanced ballistic missiles toward high-level Israeli targets. Not a border base, not a proxy group, not a warning shot. They said the strike targeted facilities connected to Israel's top leadership. Within minutes, social media erupted, markets trembled, and air defenses lit up the sky. The most dangerous part came next. No confirmation. Was Israel's prime minister inside the compound? Were senior military officials present? Hours stretched without a statement. In modern warfare, silence isn't calm. It is pressure accumulating, tension that weighs on every decision-maker. Iran claimed it used K-bar-Shanaan ballistic missiles, long-range precision systems traveling at extreme speed. Once launched, impact is almost immediate, leaving little time to debate, only time to respond. If accurate, this strike was not symbolic. It was strategic messaging written in fire. For years, Iran and Israel operated in a shadow war of cyber attacks, targeted assassinations, and proxy conflicts. Yet public leadership targeting was a line neither crossed. Crossing it collapses deterrence. Drone activity surged across the Gulf, missile alerts appeared near energy facilities, and Saudi Arabia's oil infrastructure, already historically vulnerable, became a point of global concern. Markets reacted instantly. Oil prices surged before governments could even speak. Nearly 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz, turning a narrow waterway into a global pressure point overnight. The United States faced a high-stakes dilemma. Bases in Bahrain, Qatar, and the UAE could be under threat. Leaders had to decide: respond forcefully and risk a regional war, or hold back and risk credibility. China watched closely, balancing its reliance on Gulf oil with the opportunity to expand influence if American protection seemed unreliable. Russia also benefits indirectly. Higher energy prices, stretched Western attention, and geopolitical distraction. Airlines rerouted flights, insurance premiums spiked, corporate security teams activated evacuation protocols, and high-net-worth individuals quietly booked private jets. Supply chains tightened, and modern war spread invisibly through markets, ports, and airspace before a single missile ever struck. Israel's defense doctrine depends on deterrence and rapid response. Systems like Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow exist to prevent breaches, but confidence must be restored if even one missile penetrated. Deterrence is psychological. Belief in safety is as crucial as actual defense. Citizens demand protection. Leadership must maintain political stability, and economies respond to disruption faster than politics can act. Delayed confirmation of leadership survival amplifies uncertainty, and rumor itself becomes a weapon. Once leadership targeting is normalized, energy infrastructure is exposed, and superpowers are forced into reactive positions, containment becomes nearly impossible. Behind closed doors, war rooms in Israel, Iran, and the United States analyze trajectories, radar signatures, and interception probabilities. Every moment counts. Every decision shapes escalation. Iran doesn't need total war to achieve strategic impact. Multiple proxy fronts, cyber operations, and threats to shipping lanes create pressure overload. Gulf states must weigh foreign bases against vulnerability, and multipolar diplomacy becomes increasingly attractive. Trust and security guarantees becomes the battlefield itself. Military planners think in escalation tiers: limited strikes, infrastructure targeting, leadership targeting, full-scale regional war. If leadership facilities are hit, escalation sits at a critical threshold. Moving backward politically becomes difficult. Oil futures spike, airlines falter, stock exchanges halt, insurance premiums soar, supply chains tighten, and inflation reacts almost instantly. A refinery incident in Saudi Arabia reverberates worldwide, demonstrating the global reach of modern conflict. Even short disruptions in tourism-driven economies or global shipping send shockwaves through markets. 4 realistic outcomes emerge. 1. Controlled de-escalation, symbolic responses, markets stabilize. 2. Prolonged shadow conflict, cyber and proxy pressure, slow instability, alliances shift gradually. 3. Regional escalation, direct strikes on facilities, U.S. enters sustained conflict, oil prices spike, global recession risk increases. 4. Strategic realignment, Gulf states diversify alliances, China quietly strengthens influence, And multi-vector diplomacy replaces exclusive reliance on the United States. Rapid de-escalation preserves balance. Shadow war favors Iran's layered strategy. Regional escalation destabilizes most players but benefits some energy exporters. Strategic realignment strengthens China long-term. The Strait of Hormuz becomes a choke point. Disrupted shipping, higher consumer prices, spiking inflation. Modern war is economic shock therapy. Domestically, Israel must maintain deterrence credibility. Iran must balance aggression with internal stability. Gulf states must protect investor confidence, and the United States must weigh public fatigue against global influence. Even if missiles stop next week, structural change remains. Alliances shift, credibility is tested, and fear replaces assumed stability. Wars are no longer only about destruction. They are about rearranging power. The coming weeks will determine whether this moment is a short, violent shock or the beginning of a multi-year restructuring of Middle Eastern geopolitics.